Everybody, welcome to the Ricky Thine Sports Journalism TV special, hosted by Ronan Benford with Blake Bradle and Edgar Canales, where we will be talking about player empowerment throughout the major leagues in the United States and in the world. So what are y'all's thoughts on the topic?
I think that the players are getting too empowered personally. I think that some of these players think that they are the GMs of the team and that they work in the front office. I'm not sure if Rob Pelinka even has a job anymore. I think LeBron might be the GM over there in LA. And I think these players are getting a little bit too entitled and forcing their way in trades and signings and stuff like that. And it really should be up to the front offices.
Interesting. And what do you think about it, Edgar?
I'd agree with that. It seems like nowadays players just control everything. They decide when they're playing, when they stop playing, and they kind of have more influence on what the team does. And I think that's a really big power struggle that we've seen recently.
I have to say, I respectfully but strongly disagree with you both, because the players are the most important part of the NBA, of the NFL, of any league or any athletic commission, competition, whatever it might be. So I think that they should have an outspoken determination in where they get to play, how they get to play, who they play with. You know, you mentioned LeBron James yourself. I think that somebody the caliber of LeBron James on any given team, because you add them to a team and they're automatically top 5 in the league, in my opinion. I think that he should be able to dictate who he gets to play with, not strong-arming his owners and GMs, but have an outspoken role than, say, Richard Jefferson might. I think that he should have a proportionate say to what his skill shows.
Okay, but why? What makes him better than anybody else? What makes him higher caliber? Why should he be able to dictate and not anybody else on the team?
Simply put, he's a better player. He is more valuable to any given team. And I gave the example of Richard Jefferson. What about, let's say, what's a current middling player? Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, Kristaps Porzingis, he's good. He's a decent role player. He'll get you some shots, a couple of buckets, block some shots, but he is not going to be a finals MVP in his entire life. He's just not. He's not going to be the multi-time all-star that LeBron James is. He's just not. LeBron James isn't just a great talent, he's a generational talent. So he should have a say that is proportional to that.
But didn't LeBron construct the Lakers as they are right now? And they're not a top 5 team in the NBA right now.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He's waning in his ability. He cannot carry a team to what he was able to do at one point. But he should still have a say. And I still think that he should have a louder say than most people. And you're right, this team, not a good one. Other people should still do their job ultimately. If a player wants to play with somebody, but then the GMs or scouting offices recognize player A is not going to mesh well with player B, they should frankly have the stones to say something to LeBron James instead of instantly roll over. I think it needs to be open communication.
That's a fair point. I think some of these front offices are getting bullied a little bit by the players. One of the major things that we've seen is that players are unhappy. Today, Deebo Samuel announced that he wanted to trade. Their team's made the NFC Championship 2 out of the past 3 years. How are you unhappy with that? So I think that there definitely needs to be a pushback from the front office to say, what can we fix? What can we make you happy here in your spot on a team?
Yeah, it's more about working together than being like, you're a superstar, you get to dictate. Because then, what's your threshold? Do you need a certain amount of points to be able to dictate that? Do you need to have a certain amount of money that you make? What really dictates if you take control of the team?
I agree. It is based on the relationship between the player and the front office. But players who are better players will have a better relationship with the front office, or at least a more outspoken and sizable role, in my opinion. But it's been great talking to y'all. This was Ricky Thine's TV sports special extravaganza, whatever I said in the opening. Thank you very much for watching.